7 Patriots training camp at Gillette Stadium. We've been brought to you throughout training camp, thank you, by McFarland Energy, the heating, cooling, and bioheat delivery pros that Eastern Mass and all of Cape Cod depend on at McFarlandEnergy.com. Red Sox pregame comes your way less than 10 minutes from now, 12:10. Joe Weil will get you game ready, leading you up to the Red Sox and Twins. First pitch, little after 1 o'clock. Here on your flagship station for the Red Sox, WEEI. Team huddling up here again as they're still wrapping things up on day 7, going a little longer than we expected here today, Keefe. It's a walkthrough tomorrow. They're going to go in the stadium on Friday night for season ticket holders.
Nice.
Which should be another walkthrough environment. So lighter practices. The pads come off today, and Will Campbell has a more pedestrian day than he had yesterday. How much should we read into that?
Luckily, they play the games in pads. Maybe he's better in pads. I don't know. I feel like this is going to be kind of the ride of a rookie offensive lineman where there's going to be good days, bad days. And even 2 days ago, the first day in full pads was a little bit of both. You know, depending on what drills you were watching, he had a couple times where, you know, Keon White got the best of him, and then there were times where he kind of figured it out. And then the next day, it felt like he got the better of Keon White. And now today, I think it is a little bit different, you know, especially for the defensive and offensive line when you're not in full pads. But even still, like, you're grading it on what you're grading it on, right? This is what they're doing.
Yep.
And he wasn't great. So, all right, these are all kind of like learning moments, building block moments. Next week, it'll ramp up even more when you're facing another team, and then when you play in the game a week from Friday. So all that stuff going forward, I look at it like it has been a mixed bag, which is exactly that, right? It's not, it's been a disaster for 3 days. It's also not, oh, my God, he's destroying everybody, put him in the Hall of Fame.
No, disaster would definitely be too strong. I mean, that's for sure, yeah.
It's not that, so it is sort of all right, let's see what this guy's going to have. I don't know how many people expected him just to show up and dominate the NFL right off the rip. Like, there were questions about him.
How about block Kayvon Chasen? I did kind of expect that.
Yeah,
I mean, that's one I kind of expected.
But also, nobody's blocked Kayvon Chasen,
right,
as it turns out.
Right, but what does that? Most of the league has in his career. So what does that mean for your O-line?
It means that this guy's figured it out. No, it means the offensive line, which going into the year we thought was the worst position group on the roster, is that. You know, they were kind of neck and neck with wide receiver going in. And Steph Diggs has had a couple of good days, a couple of quiet days, but Steph Diggs has at least given you, here's a high-end guy in that position group. And then there's been flashes from some of the others. Kayshon Boutte's been pretty consistent. Kyle Williams has been here or there. Had another really nice play today, Kyle Williams did, which he needed.
You did a great job highlighting that in real time. Like, that's kind of the buzziest play, I think, from training camp today. I think it was DJ James, whose name has popped a little bit. Vrabel's even asked about him earlier today. I think that was DJ James that he beat on that play. So that's a guy who's been playing well is the only reason, to say it. It wasn't. It sounds like a guy who has a shot at making the roster. And that was a good throw by May.
It was.
Hitting Kyle Williams. That was probably the most noteworthy play
I think it's
out there today.
Work in progress, though, when it comes to Will Campbell. You know, it was such a need that I feel like, despite what they might say about it, like they're like, oh, we took the best player. It's like, well, I feel like you did draft for need, right? You sort of backed yourself into a corner. You didn't really address it. You certainly didn't address the left side in free agency.
Nope.
You did add Morgan Moses, who also hasn't looked great either in camp. And so that's two different ends of the spectrum. You have one, what is Moses, like a 10-year veteran? And then you have one guy that
maybe even longer than that. He's 36 or whatever he is.
Maybe longer, maybe a 12-year veteran. And then you have one guy that's been here less than 10 minutes, and they both have had issues with Kayvon Chasen, Keon White, and some of the defensive guys for the Pats.
Morgan Moses, I'm looking it up.
He's been in the game a long time.
He was a third-round pick in 2014. So what is this, year 11 for Morgan Moses?
Yeah, maybe.
Quick math.
11 or 12.
Not great at that. But anyway, just kind of recapping Will Campbell's day. Campbell today started off in the one-on-ones. Good and bad, Keefe. He did beat Keon White, who he struggled with before.
Yeah, he's starting to figure him out, maybe.
He also lost a rep to Braden Swinson, who is a rookie fourth-round pick?
Yeah, that was his teammate, right?
Correct. They played at
LSU.
They played at LSU together. So maybe that's a guy who knows his moves.
Yeah, he's got them.
Knows his tricks. Knows how to get in his bag a little bit. Kayvon Chasen beat up Will Campbell in 11-on-11 early. He had at least 2 sacks and another pressure. That's according to Mark Daniels. There's a lot of this. Giardi, Kayvon Chasen won 3 times in 5 reps. Would have sacked Drake May or hit him on all of those. Andrew Callahan, Chasen tallied 2 sacks and a pressure in a 4-play stretch. He's been the undisputed breakout star of camp. He did say bad news. Both those sacks came at Will Campbell's expense. Callahan also has good numbers on Drake May that are now, it looks like, final. I think they're done with their 11-on-11s and everything else. May 10 for 13, took 3 sacks, 2 completions, 10-plus yards. The play of the day is the one we just detailed. May throwing Kyle Williams open in the end zone, beating DJ James. Diggs had a team-high 3 catches from May in 11-on-11s. As Diggs, I feel like Diggs was more noticeable the first couple of days, Keith.
Yep,
I have not noticed
Definitely.
Diggs as much.
Yep.
Early on, May looking for him as much. So I don't know what that means. Maybe he's just, still working his way back through his injury. Maybe they're mixing in other guys. I don't necessarily know what it means, but I would say Diggs is more noticeable the first couple of days here in camp. Callahan says tough day for Will Campbell again.
You know who Will Campbell's talking to right now?
Who is he talking to right now? Don't tell me it's Ted.
Robert Kraft.
Ooh, Kraft. Okay.
Yeah, Robert Kraft. I was talking to Wilson. Mike Vrabel stopped by to say something to him quick. Robert Kraft walked over. And this is why you have the binocs, because otherwise I would have been like, I had no idea. There's humans walking around out there. But yeah, Will Campbell talked to Robert Kraft for a moment. Now Kraft has moved on to a different group of players. It looks like he's walking around the practice field. But I choose to spin the Steph Diggs thing positive, just the way Mike Vrabel has sort of utilized all of his veteran guys. I think Steph Diggs, the first couple of days, proved that he's healthy, proved that he could pick it up. They went to him.
I would agree with that.
And now the rest of that position group is really up for debate. I mean, Pop Douglas probably is your number 2, but I think there's a real competition as far as like who makes the roster. There's a competition on who's going to be on the field. So not that like, hey, all set here, Steph Diggs, you don't need to make any more plays, but it's like I think we know what you have in him. Just like you don't see Carlton Davis every day, you don't see Morgan Moses every day, you didn't see Harold Landry at all today. So I think it's almost like a check mark, like, all right, we're good with Steph Diggs. Let the other guys kind of battle it out.
No, I think that's fair. I haven't noticed him as much, but his overall health being out, I mean, he hasn't missed any reps. He hasn't been managed like you just said, like Moses, like Landry, like they're doing maybe even with a guy like Carlton Davis, some of the other vets on this roster as well.